All right. Somehow avoided the pop. What's going on? My brain is like some kind of jelly today. Here we are, streaming again. All right, what haven't I done? I gotta pull the chats up so I can see you guys. You folks. That means going to YouTube, Twitch TV, or YouTube at OhBotherVOD. I'm clicking on my stream, muting myself so I don't listen to myself. What's up, Madam You? Pop out chat. There we go. Popo chat. Popo. Okay, that's popped out. Hey, what's up, Flask and Lines and Squares? You guys will be up and active in just a minute here. I just need to get all my crap together. Twitch TV, oh bother. And I mute that. Actually, let's check to see if it's already open. It is not already open. Okay, let's open up the pop out there. Hold on, I can't interact with you guys until I get this done. Because I can't see you. This thing, and then pop out chat, and I can close this window, save my computer some resources. There we go. Why am I still awake? What's up, Tequin Dragon? From heralding from the newest of Zealands. Yeah, I don't know why you're still awake. You happen to catch a bother stream. Can't read from the source file or disk. Okay, so there's two streams of mine, two recordings of mine that have something wrong with them, and I've tried various kinds of like file checks on these files, and it just won't let me copy them off of this drive. It's a 13 and a 14 gigabyte file. They're not small. These are 1080p recordings that are like, you know, many, many hours long. I guess I'll just skip those for now. Weird. Oh boy. Oh, this is old chat. I was reading a copper message from 1,000 years ago. Hold on one sec. We gotta go to that studio mode. This is stuff that I'm doing on my, I guess I can't show you guys because we don't have the spring arm up. But I need to go to the framed chat, and I need to go to the properties, and I need to hit refresh cache. That's one thing that I think we need to work on today. Why I'm doing miscellaneous projects today is I need to go in and make a refresh button on the Stream Deck. Skip. Target drive can handle files larger than 3 gigs, right? I have no reason to believe that I didn't make it NTFS file system. I think it can. I think all my drives are modern. Pretty much just bought a 6 terabyte drive and plugged it into the computer. So it is a 6 terabyte drive, so it clearly has a modern file system on it. All right, let's see, where are we at? I have one of the chats I can't see. I will look at in just a second. Let us minimize. I don't think, well, no, I need that to moderate. So that there. Okay, YouTube hasn't said anything. It's just Tequin Dragon. Tequin. That word is just gonna mess me up in perpetuity. Let's get the social stream blade up. Social stream blade, get that back up, bring that up, put that over here so that I can have my chat. And I'm able to read chat as it rolls in from this monitor, so I don't have to look at a 90-degree axis, 90 degrees from where all the stuff is. Oh my God, I have so much Android Auto Pancreas System Windows open on my screen today. Yeah, this last week, I was struck with a very immediate emergency because I was dumb enough to update my operating system on my Android. I updated the OS to the more modern Android and it broke. Basically, the way Bluetooth is handled was changed ever so slightly in the Android update. So if you're using Android Auto Pancreas System and you have not upgraded to the latest Android, don't. You'll want to go through and update AAPS first and then upgrade the Android. And then the Bluetooth stuff doesn't break itself. And I unfortunately had to learn about how to drop down to a previous version, because right now if you go in and you follow the instructions for how to update update to the latest Android Auto Pancreas system. The thing about this is that it's, I know this is like I'm going a mile a minute. Android Auto Pancreas system is the thing that controls my insulin pump, and it's a third-party software. It's a medical piece of software, so it technically should go through all of the FDA testing to make sure that it's okay. To avoid that, you compile the software yourself. So you're in the driver's seat. You need to be of a certain technical skill to follow a guide to get Android Studio, load up the project, and begin using it on your insulin pump. There's a whole training thing that you have to go through in order to make sure that you know how to use the software, what all the different things mean, and all that stuff, right? And then eventually it will let you close the loop and have the pump basically operate your glucose levels on its own, which is great. It's a really wonderful piece of software. But again, to get around the slowness of the FDA, which it is notoriously very slow, and to modernize diabetics quickly, you have to become the developer. And you have to have a certain level of understanding in order to operate things. I'm okay with that. Problem is, people writing the guides are the experts, not the dum-dums like me. So I didn't know the process in Android Auto Pancreas of loading up Android Studio. I can get the latest version and stuff like that now, but I didn't really know the nuances of it, right? Where to click, what to do. It turns out you have to mess with like the version timeline for like the change logs, and I had to learn about how to do that, because if you upgrade to the latest, if you follow the instructions that were on the, I think I have them up still. Yeah, you follow the hotfix instructions, you end up with the experimental version of AAPS. It's one that's meant to be run on, this is a really distracting motif in the song. You're not meant to load the experimental dev branch on your active insulin pump. It's meant for like another device for testing, right? You're not supposed to put all your eggs in that basket. But I went through the instructions too fast, and I ended up putting all of my eggs in the dev branch basket, which I really should not have done. It's just this certain way of loading the software in, cherry picking the features that you want from another update, and then loading that into your pump. And there's all kinds of other little fixes too, but the dev branch expires quickly too. So I'm actually going to be going back and putting new software on my phone again. I have to compile like the non-experimental version that'll work with the Bluetooth fix. But I just wanted that Bluetooth hotfix just so that I'd get stuff working again. Oh, the other thing I need to check, I forgot to check that, is whether or not we're sending glucose levels to DataBot. No, Heroku. cgmdatabot.herokuapp.com. Oh yeah, that is it. And we are sending it. Okay, good. All the micro bolusing stuff. My glucose level sucks right now. It's terrible. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Oh, I hate this song. I don't like this song at all. I thought this was a chill mix. In honor of Gonad, I have finally bought myself a little bit of Blue Tack. What's going on, Gonad? So yeah, my entire fucking weekend, not weekend, but the one day of my week completely threw me off. Fake Blue Tack? What do you mean? Oh, it's not Blue Tack brand. Is there an actual brand? This is the worst place to get a cut, by the way. I sliced myself on my keyboard, circuit board. It's so bad. It's probably good enough. I don't know. It's just what I found. DAP. I can't manage to even open the package of it. But yeah, Android Studio really messed me up this weekend. It was a nightmare. I finally like sorta understand it, sorta, but it'll come time again to upgrade my phone software once more. And yeah, wait a minute, this isn't quite the right stuff, is it? It should be more like a very soft putty. Oh yeah, you gotta work it into softness. You gotta taffy it a little bit. Ah, what the fuck was that? Is my computer about to like shit the bed? I just had like an audio aberration. Did you guys hear that at all? It was just like, "Argh!" You heard it too. What the hell was that? It was like 500% volume for me. A peaky beep. Yeah, it's something in the... I think it might have been in the mix. Well, hopefully my audio system isn't about to just like shit the bed. I should have multiple filters in that prevent that sort of thing. There we go. Now it's starting to feel a little bit more like Blue Tack. They seem very stingy with the portions, though. That was a nasty beep is what that was. All right, hold on. I'm going to reposition the fan here. It's non-Newtonian. It snaps if you pull it quick enough. Oh, so it's like a little bit of that Oobleck inspiration. Oh, this song drives me nuts. Beep, boop, beep, bop, bop, bop. It's like, shut up. Stop beeping. Beep, 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 bop, beep, beep. It's a nice fracture mark, like torn metal. Didn't quite. It's more like a rubber snap on this stuff. Oh, it's hot though. It gets warm. Look at that getting warm as I stretch it. You can see it on the thermals. It's like a friction thing. Yeah, if I let it cool down. There you go. It just has to cool down. I was just annealing it or something. That's crazy. You can see that on the thermals. Look at that. It heats right up. Cool. I'm going to try to avoid loading Fusion 360 today, even though it is pertinent to the victory lap on the safety glasses. There you go. Oh no, my insulin pump ran out of fluid. Hold on, the beep is me. I'm the one beeping now. If you're hearing that beep, that's me. I'm gonna mute and then do a pump change because I got to take my shirt off in order to do that. Even though it's gonna be high on my arm, I'm not gonna show you guys what goes on behind closed doors. So hold on. Dear God, my ears. Okay, hold on. Let's do a pod change here. I will have to mute for a section of it, but let me get a new pod. Got all that stuff just off camera. Okay. My mic cable's getting caught in the lighting stand. All right, here we go. So we need one of these. We need one of these. I need to be militant about when I get new insulin because it's only just enough to get me to the next month. Or it's a little bit more, but I'll eventually have a surplus and then I can be a little lazy about it. But that's boom and cheese. Boom. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. You guys are gonna get a lot of weird noises. So let me mute. I can clip you guys to my shirt. Hopefully I sound mostly the same. It's now just undershirt bother. So let's do this. So we're doing a set change, which means a new insulin pump. So out with the old, which is here on my arm. So I'm just gonna get under the label there, and that hurts. That size of a Band-Aid. Diabetes is a lot of very minor discomforts in terms of pain and stuff. It's like, I mean, would you rather hurt a little bit and live? It's like, people are like, ooh, I'm squeamish around needles. I could never be a diabetic. And I'm just like, bitch, like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, it's called stepping up to the plate, and I'm sure you would do it. Oh, it's so bubbly. Too many bubbles. Boobles, boobles, and boobles. Yeah. What Red Letter Media? It might have been. I think it was Mike that said it. Wilford Brimley makes diabetes look like the common cold. Although Wilford Brimley then proceeded to die a couple weeks later after he said that, but whatever. It is just about as annoying as a common cold, but with some dire circumstances. So we're ready. We can inject into this one. It's going to beep beep at me. There's the beep beep. That means that it is now searching. And here's what I learned over the weekend is this thing searches for a certain amount of time over Bluetooth. When it does not find a recipient for its pairing, here we're going to activate pod, fill pod, next. Now this is going to pair with this, and the next message it expects to get is that the clutch has been locked. Now we don't know that. I only got that message this weekend because if one of these pods does not pair, what it does is it starts to let out a sequence of 4 beeps. It goes beep, 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 beep. One would think that this would be the pod using the remains of its batteries in order to get communication with a phone. You think it beep, 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 beep is the indicator, hey, reminder, you have not paired a pod with me, right? But no, that's not what the beep, 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 beep indicates. The beep, 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 beep indicates that it has turned itself into a lump of coal. It is completely and utterly useless. Actually, clean coal. Coal has more use in starting fires, and I suppose you could set fire to the pump. That would be about all it's good for. It is just a bunch of potential energy wrapped up in a little shell. Once it does the 4 beep thing, it will not pair to anything else, and it will not stop beeping until the batteries are dead. Okay, so initialize pod, and now what I do when I click next is this thing will actually shove a fucking needle into my arm. And I will give you guys a front and center view of it. I do not think I will be able to show... We're going to put it in a weird spot. This one's going to be on my bicep. This is a weird spot. But it shouldn't too much get in the way. It does get in the way a little bit. We're doing a weird spot. I'm doing it for you guys. This pump isn't going to last terribly long. I don't think... I can only give you guys a close-up on this camera, so... And once I put down that adhesive label, like, that's it, right? Okay, so you guys get front and center. So when I click next, you got to watch that little window right here. This little window. I'm getting creative with my placements just because I need to give parts of my body a rest. Okay, ready? Here goes. Now. Nope. Now. That was it. You can't even see it. You can see there's a little piece of blue right there. That is a piece of plastic that goes under my skin. So what happened was a little cam, which I actually have an example of it over there, but a little cam swung around inside here. You might have been able to see it if viewing through the top, but a little arm, you know, like the Steam logo, a little arm goes around like this and it pushes the thing forward, which puts a needle under my skin that has plastic around it. Then it pulls the needle back out. There's a little red cart that goes up and gets caught, and then the rest of the needle pulls back, and then you're attached through that needle to the reservoir, which is like a plunger. So this is well, yeah, the big brain engineering behind the insulin pump, behind the Omnipod, is actually kind of incredible. There are a couple YouTube videos about taking these things apart and showing off the mechanism. I've done a video on it. I've done a stream on it where we took some apart and we're taking a look at the actual engineering behind it. Maybe we'll do another one at some point, because I saw somebody else's video make it to the front of Reddit, and I for some reason can never get to, like, I don't know why I can't tap into Reddit. I do all the same interesting stuff that I see on there. It just never happens. One day maybe I'll go viral. It can't be by any sort of effort on my part, or else that sours it for Reddit. If I try to promote myself there, you get torn. You get dragged pretty hard. All right, I'm gonna put my shirt on. The thing about diabetes is it makes a lot of waste. A lot of waste. This whole pump will go in the garbage if anything happens to it. Can you put testosterone in it and pump it for max results? So I've heard of some alternative uses for insulin pumps. People with chronic pain can put pain medication in a pump, and if you get pain medication, I guess over time like that, it can keep you from getting dependent on it. But so like testosterone's different when you're injecting, because I have injected testosterone. I mean, this is actually sorry, insulin is actually a steroid of a type. It's a growth hormone. But anyway, okay, so can you put testosterone in it? Testosterone is delivered differently. It is delivered through an oil, through an intramuscular injection. You look jacked as fuck. I am a spherical man. I literally have a big Santa belly. No. But you know, we're gonna take steps to reverse all that. I'm gonna try to get the weight off. And I may do it with the SGL1 drugs, those appetite suppressant drugs. This is not good. This is too much food. The physics books love me. Yeah, I'm a uniformly dense spherical man. So here's the thing: testosterone is an oil injection so that it slowly gets into your body, and it's intramuscular. Intramuscular needles are like this long. Insulin is interstitial, which means that it goes between the fluids in the muscle and the skin, right? We just want to get under the skin. So insulin needles are like 5 millimeters long. That way, you don't have this giant injection. Oh, really? I'm peeking? Ooh, hold on. Let's refresh that. Oh, it's because my shirt's on top of it. Aren't there like secret drugs that are for like being sleep deprived where you just don't need to sleep? I think there are. There's like a family of drugs that just make you not need to sleep. Thought I was bugging. No, sorry, that was me. The mic was under my shirt. It was clipped to my undershirt. But yeah, so there have been uses for pumps other than injecting insulin because yeah, it's just an intramuscular injection. But testosterone is a no. Other drugs, glucose has been done before, trying to make an auto pancreas so that it can release either glucose or insulin into your system. Although AAPS does that without the glucose fallback. You just stop injecting and eventually the blood glucose goes up a little bit. But you have to watch out for certain scenarios on that. Like if I were exercising a lot, I have to make sure that I've got some form of carbohydrate on me because I will not put glucose into my system in order to correct that control system. So, whole bunch of stuff. My major in college, control systems, is essentially what are used to run my body. It's the math behind what my body do. All right. Do I need extra insulin after that little? Oh, I do. Yeah, it wants to inject me with 1.5 units, so I'm going to do it a solid, and I'm going to tell it, hey bud, we're going to give 10 units of insulin. I'm going to be aggressive because I don't want to be hyperglycemic all afternoon, so I'm going to give 10 units of insulin. You have very nice vibes, thank you. All right, so 10 units of insulin. It's streamer brain gets to you. You start. It's just, I don't know. It's just what. So anyway, this is an intramuscular needle. You can barely even see it. You can only see it when it catches the light. It's only a couple centimeters long, millimeters. This is not as short as they have to be. Actually, yes, this is as short as they have to be. So this is 1 inch squares. So a 1/2 inch is the distance from here to here, and this doesn't even. It's like 3/4 of an inch. No, gym nuts, no larger needles. They're much bigger. This is a very small needle indeed. So you inject a little bit of air, you debooble. And that's 10 units on the clock. And I'm gonna go for just a big muscle. So, ow, that poked my skin. I was just testing the air, okay. Ow, I hit a nerve cluster. Holy shit, that hurts. Ah, that hurt a lot. I did not sign up for that. This needle, I think, has gone dull. Oh, and it's bent. That's part of it, too. Use it for HCG. I see. You know, these fucking working with my doctor to get back on testosterone, which allowed me to lose all of the excess weight that I carry around, right? And it had me getting up early, and I felt great. Takes me off of testosterone because there's an ADA recommendation against it. You're not supposed to recap needles because they can catch the side and actually poke through the side of the plastic. So recapping is a no-go. But if you do have to recap, twisting a little bit. Twist a little bit to make sure that you're not caught up, and just keep your fingers away from this area. Anyway, because I've done it before where I put the cap back on, I'm like, ow. Working with my doctor for over a year to try to get back on testosterone, and he said no every single fucking time. And yet, these fucking gym rats can go to the gym and just, I don't know, it just falls out of the sky somehow. I need to start going to the gym and being like, bro, hook me up, so I can get back on these drugs that totally changed my life because I don't create enough testosterone. I am a little bit low T to the degree where some doctors have thought that it would be recommended to turn my ball sack into a beanbag. The glands that produce testosterone shrink, and so your balls shrink. And I'm already not... It was a situation. I just had to not think about it. But I lost all the weight, and I was exercising, and it felt great. You do look like you have very large... I do not. No. It's the opposite. The needle drives a big Ford truck. What, over deaths? Anyway, so I've been working with my doctor for over a year, and he just said, no, you have too high of a red blood cell count. I can't put you on these things. Some say he travels by space hopper. We need to invent floaty technology. We're kind of behind the bar on that one. We need things to be able to kind of woo-woo hover around and break physics. No. Well, yeah, because you can lose functionality in they're becoming atrophied. But it's whatever. Anyway, the point is, fixed a lot of stuff in my life, and I'm not allowed to go back on it because I have a high red blood cell count, which could be caused by sleep apnea. It could be caused by, I don't know, me being a fat guy. Something's going on, and we actually discovered that I have high iron levels in my blood. So I've got too much metal in my blood. So I need to go. Oh, the needle too short, buys a big truck to concentrate. I wasn't getting there, sorry. But the iron in my blood means that I have to give about 500 grams of blood every couple months. And I'm scheduled at the end of the month to do that again. The last one that I went to, they ended up injecting air into my vein, which was not cool. I got a little bolus of air in my bloodstream, and I felt it gurgle in my shoulder. I'm not looking forward to going back to giving more blood. It was not a good situation. See what they do, appropriately, Flask is saying, dang. What they do is they use a pressure vessel, a flask, a depressurized flask, to suck the blood out of me. They let it get back to room pressure, and so when they hooked it up to me, I pressurized it to my blood pressure. Then they went to clear the line and added pressure to the system. And because the bottle acts like a one-way valve, blood goes down, air goes up, and that's what happened. That can kill you. Yeah, a lot of air. This was a little bit of air. It was an uncomfortable amount, and I was going, oh, cool, so I die now. That didn't happen. Basically, I think it went straight to my lungs, because if I took a deep breath, and it was like I had been jogging in the cold. Because when you jog in the cold, your lungs can hurt when you take a deep breath, right? Or at least mine can. That's what it felt like. And I of course had the vasovagal reaction, which is where you almost pass out. I became quite pale and sweaty and nearly passed out. That was a fun time. That was the last time. And then the next day I got a root canal. It was the week of pain. Are tariffs affecting your stream? Not yet, and you can see that I'm surrounded by garbage. I'm completely and utterly surrounded by garbage, so as my stream goes on, I am going to get more. You don't feel the air. It could whoa, I felt blub 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 in my shoulder when it had to turn the corner for the big vein in the arm. I mean, you don't feel it after that, but yeah, it's not cool. A little air every now and then is a treat, yeah. But if it's in a cluster, it can cause a stroke. Like, it's not good. It's not, you won't necessarily die, but there might be situations where a sudden bubble can affect things. But are tariffs affecting my stream? I'm surrounded by garbage, and I'm trying not to order stuff lately. That's just how we're going to go for a little while. I've got plenty to do. We have 1,001 projects here that I have not completed, and things that I can just live with, like the Hajiwo board that we made is not perfect, and it can remain not perfect. It does not need a lot of air to cause a stroke. That's what I'm saying. If it's all at once suddenly, a big amount of air can kill you just outright, but a little bit can be enough to starve a cell in your brain, stuff like that, depending on a lot of different other circumstances. What is up, 3D Printer Shack? How's it going? Yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff that I can make do with. A lot of the things about the maker hobby and, you know, using your skills and talents in order to propel projects forward is that we get more tricksy and talented in utilizing things that I've already got. And, you know, I'm not ordering things as prolifically. I mean, I guess I never kind of was, but dumpster diving is to be, it's a skill to hone. Blue tack. So now I have blue tack, and it's 1,001 uses. We'll see if I do anything with it. What's cool about blue tack, though, is in spite of the heat of my hands, you can see this heat up as I stretch it. You can see how it becomes more prominent on the thermals. We'll let it cool off, and then I'll do another stretch. If I made it a little bit higher up on the whole hierarchy of Twitch streams, if I was able to get my glorious 300 viewer number that I'm that's my goal. That's a humble amount of people, but it's also very difficult when you've got a niche, right? So I often inappropriately compare my stream to other gaming streamers, and it's like, man, I'm not doing what I should do. The more successful the stream is, the more of a hoarder you become. At those higher levels, at the higher levels of viewership, I can get sponsors for products, and I can afford to waste more than $20 a stream. So I could just go and buy something and we can take it apart. We've done that before when, you know, Burn the Subs was running. We were a little bit more prolific. We had more people here, and I was kind of like riding that a little bit. And so I was able to go to like CVS and just buy random crap. And that's where one of the cool things was the ultrasonic cleaner. And they really should have put an asterisk by ultra. Yeah, I have a 3D printer. I have two. One's behind me. It's this thing here with the spool attached to it. And that's actually what this camera is connected to, even though, all the... Those are project bins, and I'm trying to organize them right now. So I've pulled them all out. So there's this glorious, enormous pile of trash just sitting next to me on my stream here. But this camera is attached to the 3D printer cart, so I can kind of move it around a little bit. But yeah, this one is a Creality CR10S that is no longer, I don't think any of the Creality CR10S exists anymore. It's just a bunch of 8020 rails from the original, or sorry, 2020 rails from the original. Do you have an Amazon wish list? Yes, it's actually linked below. However, I haven't curated the list lately. I think I was doing a session of looking at like microphones that I'll never need or want. And I probably added a couple things to there that I don't need. A couple really, really nice microphones. I don't know if I should try to do voiceovers. That would be cool. But anyway, point is, don't trust the wish list too much. Every now and then, some of y'all will go into that wish list and I'll get like an anonymous thing. Anonymous sent me this thing, which actually is quite useful when I spilled water on my keyboard. And we took it apart and took a look at it. It's kind of cool. It's basically just a ducted fan motor attached to a giant battery, and it creates quite a bit of air for what it is. It's kind of insane. What's that meme? It's where they go. It's cold air. It's just drawing from directly behind it. It's a portable shitstorm. Yeah, so I've been streaming for a long time. This is the room of the house with everything that I own. Every other part of the house has nothing that I own in it. Uh, I'm a sad, sorry individual. I'm a diabetic who was kicked out of their job and had to go on, had to pay for their own health insurance for a little while, and that bankrupted them, and it netted me nothing. And so here I am doing nothing. I tried to apply for jobs for a little while. I won the Reddit Millionaire Makers contest and got $1,500 because I am a white guy who doesn't have a sob story. So nobody donated money, and I got $1,500 from a like Reddit like random lottery thing. So I bought a milling machine with it, which is pretty cool. It's an entry level milling machine, but it's enough to make us dangerous. But I got that, and then I decided, you know what? I've been writing for Hackaday for a little while. I do crazy projects now and then. I should push for that because it seems like the more of a serious, don't get sucked into my self-deprecating millennial humor. I do not need compliments, but thank you. I appreciate you very much. Don't worry, my self-esteem is fine. I do it just for the millennial jokiness of it. So anyway, yeah, as usual, the American healthcare sucks. In order to maintain my glistening diabetic body, I got on the public health plan. If I make a certain amount of money, I'm off the public health plan. I tried applying for a bunch of jobs, but it seems like the more regimented my job gets, the more I drift away from it and do this stuff. So I'm just going to do this stuff, right? And maybe people will throw me a couple bucks every now and then. It's a weird living situation that I'm in. It's not something that you should strive for. People have asked me, how do you do what you do? I want to do what you do. And I'm like, you don't want my circumstances. Like, because if I make a certain amount of money on Burn the Subs, I'm off my health care, and that's going to be thousands of dollars from me. And if they add a work requirement, I will have to pick up an extra day of streams. We'll see how we can navigate that. Hopefully Twitch counts as work. I have been working on, this is 3D Printer Shack, been working on sorting out a multi-day print for my largest printer today. I'm working on making sure the print bed is still decently flat and not super warped. I have spent so many hours doing that. Are you using one of those, there's like plugins where they do it does your print bed leveling? Those are pretty cool because those can tell you how far to move the knobs. And I don't have knobs. I had to do the bed leveling and then take the standoffs I had and file them down just a little bit. Yeah, this is Blue Tack in honor of Flatulent Gonad's passing. We're really gonna miss Flatulent Gonad now that he's gone. No, he's here. I need one of those that looks like a useful tool. These are a little expensive for what they are. They're a little expensive. It is a good alternative to canned air, although the little pressurizer thing is, where's Gonad? I don't know. He's gone. But these, the ducted fan motor has gotten up to the right standards. So I can use this to like dry stuff off if there's droplets on it. The boom emotes are so animated. It's crazy. If you guys haven't heard of, you could do a shout out to Boom if you want, Flatulent. I don't know how many O's are on that thing, on that damn thing. Boom does like dev, 3D, like avatar dev kind of stuff. I think it's in, is it Blender or something else? Yeah, there's too many O's. But they have the same style of like single word interactions with chat. So if you guys say idea, the idea lights up. The idea light lights up. What's also used to draw cool furries? Wait a minute. Somebody said cool furries. I gotta take a look. I was trying to use this as a mouse. My big printer is a Voron. I always feel weird saying that name on my stream. It's been a bad job market for electrical engineering. And it's not terrible, and I probably could find a job. I would just find a job for like, the People Masher 5000. Everybody's like, why don't you apply to Lockheed? And I've never known a Lockheed engineer to be happy with their life. It's just one of those things, like work life for me. I can't do gray cubicles, man. I can't go back. I can't go back to gray cubicles. Did somebody say furries? Ask Tequin Dragon. Yeah. We are an ally to everybody on this channel. Everyone deserves to exist. Except for that one guy. Anyway, so yeah, what were we saying here? I'm going to catch up. I was trying to catch up. It's been the driest market I've seen in 10 years. Yeah, that's a tough thing. My big printer is a Vor on with version 2.0 with 350, 350, 330. Mine's a Creality CR10S that I've modified to within an inch of its life. There's nothing left of it. It's pretty cool though. I have a Hymeria hot end, so. The only problem I've had with that printer is that the bed had the cables that aren't supposed to flex coming out of the hot bed. The heat bed had the wrong kind of cables. It was like aluminum cable, so it wasn't good with flexing and it frayed. And I fixed it with a bunch of screw terminals and the super flexible silicon jacketed wire. Military or nothing. Ugh, I love Lockhead. Did somebody say furries? Yeah, I missed that comment. I still missed the comment. Where was that? Multi-day print, flat, bad job market. Am I caught up? I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah, I think I could probably find a job. It would probably be for Comcast because I have a friend who's working there. Dry job market indeed. Yeah, all around. I gave up and went into opinions investing. Investing could be an alternative. Maybe I could do that. Being freelance sucks, but it's so liberating. I'm freelance, but I'm owned by Jeff Bezos, right? But it is pretty liberating. I would kowtow to sponsors and be careful not to get myself into a situation like with, some of these sponsors have been sort of bad faith sponsors and they put opinions on you that you don't want to put out there. But I'm too little for sponsors right now. It's just me directing this in the direction that it goes in, but it's also 24/7, 365. So it's been a long time since I've been on a vacation because I just don't make money. But if I do slightly better at this, I could probably end up being able to pay my own healthcare. I'd be happy to do that. But yeah, but it's incredibly expensive to be a diabetic at the tech level that I'm at. I never have and never will use a Creality printer. Well, I shouldn't ask why that is. If you have I bought the Creality just because it was a one and done sum of money way back in the day. Long time ago. But I don't know what the deal is with Creality or why you're so adamant about not using them. I did use their 3D scanner and we had really, really good results with it. No money means you get good with repairs. Why do you think I completely overhauled my keyboard using a Pico Pi, a $2 microcontroller? My Creality machine has done 3,500 hours with no issues. I also use Ender 3. I see. If you want to be a creative, find local entrepreneurs who need a product dev help. I have a feeling that's where all of my energy in school went, was putting smart people with rich people, and that never came to fruition. Everybody thought I was super gifted and super smart because I did circuitry stuff, and that I would somehow find somebody who would then make both of us millionaires, and that never happened. Later, Techwin Dragon, thanks for stopping by. But yeah, it never happened. And then in 2011, a friend of mine goes, "Hey, should we buy Bitcoin? We could buy like a bunch of Bitcoin." And then 2 days ago, I see a news article about somebody who invested like $7,000 in Bitcoin and is now worth over $1 billion. Well, you win some, you lose some. I've heard bad stuff about their K series of printer and their Enders. I see. Mind if I list all the printers I have? You could list them. I'm fine with that. 2 Ender, 3S, and K1C, and they have never missed a beat. So there's so little of the printer left of my printer that you didn't buy Bitcoin? No, I was gifted a bunch of Bitcoin with the Reddit Millionaire Maker stuff, and then it all got stolen. It was before Reddit had two-factor authentication, and then they had two-factor authentication, and I slept on it. And then I won the Millionaire Makers contest, and then it all got stolen. Sucks. I had almost one singular Bitcoin. Now I have a 1/10 of a Bitcoin, which is not bad. And I have a bunch of dog coin that I should probably look at again. I haven't touched in a long time. So 3D Printer Shack has Bamboo Labs, PLS, True Dawn 2.0 Pro, Flash Forge 5M Pro, For the open air printers, it's Anycubic, Cobra, Neo, Bamboo. I don't know where one name begins and the next ends. There are commas in here. Bamboo Lab A1 Mini, Feason, Super Racer, Super what? Laser Engraver, XYZ DaVinci 1.0 Pro 3-in-1, and in storage is an Anycubic Cobra 2 and Dead Probes. How do you have room for all this stuff? I need a second lab that's just for the 3D printers. I need to redo my list. Nah. I usually need parts maybe by Lockheed Martin, get back to work so I can help my classic mini, so I can keep my classic minis on the road. One thing that's gone by the wayside is the car hobby. I can't do the car hobby with streamer money. I don't even make streamer money. But maybe one day I'll be able to put like a camera in the garage and we'll be able to do like a car repair or just work on cars in general. I would love to be able to take some of my crazy car ideas to fruition. It's not even that crazy of an idea. I just want to electrify something old that wouldn't be totally ruining an old classic. You know, I'm not going to take a one-of-a-kind car and electrify it, but something that's a good driver and can go fast because electric cars are not slow, and something that I understand. And I would love for that to be a 944, but I understand that the 944s are starting to disappear. So used to be a nice cheap solution with a motor that would grenade itself. So I'll have 10 total printers. Right now I have 8. Do you just put them all on top of each other? Have mill create car part. It's more like advanced repair of car part. But I can kind of make a car part. Not that, I mean, if I had an actual like computer control on the mill, yeah. But that's a project in and of itself as well. Find a 944 with a nice interior but a blown engine. That used to be what you could do. But it's not quite like that anymore. Half of my room is just printers. This is, okay, so 3D Printer Shack, their name obviously leads into them having an excessive number of printers, but great prime example of, oh, I could do that with a 3D printer. No, you could do that with a 3D printer if your other hobby is 3D printing. Now, there's a lot of really good turnkey solutions these days, so you don't necessarily have to become a super duper expert. You can go to like some of the Bamboo Labs and stuff like that, and you just buy the printer, run it. But the default state of most 3D printers out there is broken. Most of them are collecting dust, unless you are a hobbyist with 3D printers. So you got to kind of realize that your battles are going to be spent learning how to 3D print. I have 7, most just gather dust. Yeah. Half of my room's just printers. I wish I had a different room for my printer. What? Yeah, there's a closet that's basically sharing a wall right behind me here. That would be a perfect place for me to put, unfortunately it's filled with garment bags and paperwork. Those boxes of paperwork, there's a whole wall of them over there. So if certain people in my life meet an unexpected end, I will be spending 6 months shredding paper, and then I will have that room to punch a little hole in the corner and put all this stuff, all the computer crap, into that room so that I can free up space in here and make this a quieter studio. And I can also put printers in there. I could even plug this thing in that room, and we could use it as a webcam. You could pay for somebody like Shapeways small cash for 3D prints. That's true. Use all mine when I have and the other big expense with moving the computers is I want to do it with like fiber optic couplers. Although maybe I wouldn't have to do that. I could probably just do a big through thing, or like a couple of those like KVMs that handle monitors. I could probably do it with that. But moving all the computers to another room means that they could then get loud. And I wouldn't have that on the microphone. The computers that I built are specifically built, they're bespoke as quiet computers. They are whisper quiet most of the time. But my gaming computer is a little louder and it's constantly throttling. Like no matter what I'm doing. It might just be a Windows thing, but man, and it's not making a rear noise, that's just the noise I assigned to that. It's a whoosh of air. KVM PC in another room, not as hot, and it's quieter, yeah. And that's Gonad's strategy, was to put all the cables upstairs. All the cables in his setup go straight up. So when that room turns on, it's like an aircraft carrier's deck, but he's not around to listen to it, which is kind of awesome. But that would be the way, you know, I'd go NDI on the cameras and upgrade them. KVMs that are fast. So I'd really like to use optical ones, but those might be too expensive. But KVMs so that I could send all the signals into another room, and everything would be, you know, networked and stuff, but it would all be elsewhere. On the last job, I had 2 cubicles. I put 3 PCs in the other cubicle and ran KVM through the divider. That's the goal. That's the strategy. And then you can have just open case PCs that aren't going to get dusty. So you can yeet all the heat out of them. We are in the basement, and the room next door is a finished closet, but it's right next to where all of the heat pump is. So in the winter, well, in the summers, actually, I could just open the door and it would get full air conditioner blast, just going right into that room. And then in the summer, it's just a room. It'll just be a cold room. There's no ducting leading to it. Still with having a case so you can control airflow instead of having it looping around. Ah, I see. I guess that's a thing. That's why we do my strategy of literally water cooling every component on the computer and then throwing all that heat into radiators. And if I do that on both the stream computer and the game computer, I could have them both cooled by the same system. I can get like a car radiator. Car radiators are aluminum though, that's the problem. I wonder if you can get big copper radiator. I think you can. Just get a big radiator and put a bunch of fans on that. Big printer passed the bed level test. Those bed level tests zoom you in so far that you feel like your bed is a taco, at least for mine. Still with having a case. Okay, I already got that one. Relay racks are pretty cheap if you have any 19-inch mountable stuff. I've racked most of my stuff, and I'm actually, one of these days I need to pull everything out of there and redo the rack again. I'll just pull everything out, and that'll be like a week off of streaming where I just redo the rack. And I need to move my Focusrite over to this table over here once I get the project area organized. We're getting there. I'm organizing and I'm redoing. I'd left over plywood and just made a rack in the garage. That's neat. Yeah, you know, the dream is to be able to relocate all this stuff. But you know, I'm just thinking about it. I'm not actually doing it. We're just gonna restart. Can I restart that? No, because Spotify or whatever, SoundCloud became stupid. There's no cancel button. It's continue with this, that, or the other thing. Oh, there's the it's way up in the corner. All right. Can I do that here? Nope, doesn't let me. I have to use this. I can't seek within the track. There we go. What? Nobody can hear. What was that? I got him muted for a little while. I guess we'll start streaming. We're just having kind of like a hangout stream. I mean, it's science and tech. I could have made it just chatting, but here we are. Here, let's my workshop is in the spare bedroom and it's a hazard zone. Keeps saying going to sort it out, never do. You have to blow it up so that the only way you can use it again is if you do the thing that you need to do. That's how I am. I've got that ADHD. It needs to be an absolute emergency in order to get my ass off of the chair in order to work on it. One of these days, I'm gonna put like a spike trap on my chair so that I don't sit in it all day. And I actually do, you know, organizing this pile of bullshit that's now sitting on the area that I would let Julian perform on. Julian was here. Apparently that wasn't enough to get me off of my ass and start organizing all this stuff. But eventually I will get to this pile and sort it out, and then that'll lead me into the other ways of the other stuff that I need to do around the shop. The setup with streaming, when you get your stack of cards in a tower configuration, you build that house of cards, and it's a house of cards. You don't want to mess with it. You don't want to mess it up because it works. If you touch one thing on it, it can cascade over to other stuff and it'll all break again. So that's what I'm afraid of. And a lot of streamers have that same fear. You can see it in the panic that ensues when a piece of vital equipment either fails or does not operate properly. OBS keeps you on your toes. Every now and then they give you an update that'll break something. And then you go, what do I do? And then the streamer panics. I've seen a lot of streamers do that. They have other people set up their setups, and those other people aren't around when their setup breaks. It's a tough thing. You got to be your own studio. Put the pile on your bed, then you have to fix it before the end of the day. You underestimate the amount of operation that I will go through automatically without even logging memory. I will, not that I'll organize it, I will just daftly move it over to another surface before I even realize what I'm doing. It's amazing. Program called Mouse Without Borders. I've heard about that, and there's also one that's built into Microsoft, isn't there? I think there's a built-in one where your mouse can move between computers automatically. I recently saw a $100 network-based KVM that looks nice, not sure on gaming speeds. That's the thing, is the instant back and forth. I'm not playing esports, but if I'm going with this setup, I'd want to go with like a really nice low delay one, but then they get into the order of thousands of dollars, which is crazy. It's just nuts. But Gonad, instead of going the KVM route, he just literally made the wires go up. There's a limited amount of distance to go up. Yeah. I see Input Director. It's like magic for controlling loads of PCs at once. It's free. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, so anyway, one day maybe I'll be able to go the NDI and KVM route to relocate the computers into the other room, and then I can have an equipment room. It's kind of what I think Djibouti Show does that. They literally, the like foyer of their house, or like the main room of the house, is a streaming room, and then the room next to it is the equipment room where there are racks of equipment. So they've got all their extra computers and stuff in another room, and they're all on the nice mics, and it's relatively quiet. Yeah, pretty crazy setup they have. Anyway, so I don't have that setup. I have one room in the house that has everything that I own crammed into it, and so things are on top of itself. And yeah, it's just I'm constantly sort of combing the mess in order to keep it from all falling down on me. We'll work on that eventually. Maybe that could be a subject for one of these streams. I think getting my Stream Deck to work is something that I want to work on today, so that I can swap these, and this one goes to the other computer. But I wanted to update you guys on the safety goggles. You guys have seen me working on these safety goggles, and I've been working at it, trying to get the glasses mount insert to work properly. These are ESSI company. I don't endorse them or banish them. I'm working with, well, I'm not working with them directly. I'm working with their hardware in order to make sure that when I use big power tools and when I shoot guns, I do not have stuff flying into my eyes. My eyes are kind of an asset, and they're kind of depreciating with diabetes a little bit. So I want to make sure that I take care of them in every other way. So I wanted to make sure that I had good shooting glasses and that I could actually see what I was shooting at and to see what I was working on. I have close vision, so looking at stuff far away is a little bit difficult for me. And it's a very slight prescription. But the other problem that I have is that my nose is absolutely enormous. You can see it's just a big, stupid nose. So I have trouble with, well, I don't have trouble with regular glasses because they accommodate big noses. You just kind of move the little bumpers away, right? With something like wraparound safety glasses, they always make them for one size of nose. And that one size of nose is always too small for me. They sit super high up. It sits like incredibly high up, and that not only does it look stupid, it might affect safety a little bit. Like these used to sit like up here, and it was a really odd look. These are an odd look anyway, right? Because they kind of slant backwards. But with the modifications we did, they fit me, and I can actually see stuff far away. With a caveat, I had to pay a little bit of an expense. Unfortunately, because of the wraparound nature of these glasses, like I can tilt my head and I can see the text on the monitor, but if I look straight at it, the pupillary distance has changed because the glasses are bent backwards. They're bent like this. That has to occur in order to get them close to my face. Otherwise, these safety goggles sit really, really far off. Like this one, that's the longest one. Which one is it? This one. This one really spaces it out. But let's put that together and you can see how it looks. And these are all 3D printed. They're SLA I used clear because it's just what I have. And I might keep it clear. I did buy some black goop, the stuff from, what was that movie? Independence Day? No, the Alien movie. I forgot it again. Anyway, I bought some, and I don't know if I want to use it, but I might. Synergy? I've heard of Synergy. All right, so let's put the big one together. So these were an effort of reverse engineering the original part and 3D scanning my head with the Creality CR scan. This is something that I bought for myself. I could have gotten a sponsored one, but I slept on the offer, and I just didn't. Unfortunately, it didn't come to fruition. I could have gotten a free one. I spent a lot of money on this one. It's actually a pretty good thing. Having a 3D scan of my head means that I can do stuff like this and figure out what the best configurations are for like parts that you can't buy. So here they are, fully spaced out. They are now no longer bent by the nose bridge, but it has a different problem to it. This is where I put this thing on. It fits great, and I can read text. It's only, I think they're bent just a tiny bit, but look at this. This is crazy. I don't think I'd be caught dead wearing them like this. Look insane. It looks a little bit bad. I don't know. What do you guys think? Having this giant opening at the top too. If I buy the gasket, the one that seals them to your face, I don't think the gasket will cover. I don't think I'm ever going to look good in these things. That's for sure. I'm always going to look like some right-wing weirdo on Twitter. Right-wing avatar glasses. Yeah, I don't know. It's like this keeps them from bending. That bending changes the prescription because you're looking through a different part of the glass. Oh, another fun thing about the CR scan, when you scan your own face, if you scan your own head, you can actually just measure your pupillary distance because you've got a whole bunch of triangles that represent each of your eyes. So I could literally go from the right side of my pupil to the other right side of my pupil, and Fusion 360 will have a measurement between those two using all kinds of crazy, probably, what is it? Linear algebra math. So yeah, this is the problem that I have, is that it's either like real dumb looking and it sticks like 500 feet in front of my face. Yeah, that's too much. I can get my whole finger in there. Or the glasses are bent and I need to look at things slightly askew in order for them not to be distorted. Because yeah, with them bent a little bit, then you can see how it distorts the object around the pupil. We're looking at this blue tack and how it's bending, and the grid basically bending with the glasses. Yeah, linear algebra is how a lot of computer graphics and you know, three-dimensional stuff comes to fruition. It's how they transform and bend and do all kinds of different operations. Because basically what you're asking the program to do is this arbitrary point to this other arbitrary point. What's that distance? And so I don't know. Well, I guess they can do that. No, they'd still be using linear algebra, depending on what's actually being measured. It's some kind of computer magic, that's for sure. So yeah, this bridge is the closest one that I printed. This one is the very short distance on it, and it fits my face the best. This style of glasses also just doesn't fit my face very well. It would be nice if I could find a style that they have that would not be as offensive, but maybe the goggles that they have they have a different insert, by the way. They have a different insert that I think allows it to get closer. It might be smaller glasses on the front, but this is the one that I bought because it was cheap. I wish I could tell them, hey, I've got this super popular live stream. You guys want to send me some stuff? These are a bit tricky to fit on the clips here. Probably why they had one of the surface tilted and the other one was not. There we go. Oh, there's still blue tape on it over here. Yeah, so that's what the lens is bent, and you can see there it does kind of distort. See how it distorts towards the middle? So with the lenses bent, my pupils are like here. It's possible that I could send them a different pupillary number, but that's trial and error that I just don't want to go through. So basically when I look at something, I have to tilt my head a little bit and look at it to the side in order to see it relatively close up. It's kind of a trade-off, but I wanted to do the victory lap with you guys just so we could emphasize that this project is being declared done. I don't have time to go through and start playing around with pupillary distances in order to get that right. It's just not something. So I now know my prescription numbers though, so I could technically fudge around with the numbers and get, a different pair, but I just don't know if it'll solve the problem of focus straight ahead. Straight ahead is just a little blurry. I get like ghosting around letters and stuff. So how's chat doing? We had a couple active chat members when I was actually running running music over top of them, and now everybody's gone quiet. This is done. We finished the project. So eat it, you bastards. You become like a bird that has to turn their head with each eye. Yeah, my vision has gone a little bit more prey direction than predator. Your dad was a professor in linear algebra at the engineering school. Hot damn. Linear algebra was one of the more difficult courses that I've ever taken in my life, and it didn't click with me at first. And then suddenly I got a really easy teacher, and all of it clicked. I was able to actually get through the equations, and this guy was able to basically just Xanax his way through his life. This professor, he went a little crazy, and I think something snapped, and now he just doesn't, he was like one of the easier professors, whereas when I mentioned him to people who had gone to Drexel in a previous era, knew the name and were afraid of him. He was like nothing like his old self. But anyway, I ended up understanding linear algebra and finally really getting into what you could do with it, the robotics facet of it and all that stuff. Very, very interesting system of math that didn't exist until the 1960s, and we tried to go to the moon on it. We invented linear algebra, and it's kind of insane what you can get away with matrices. You can mess around with equations in ways that I never thought possible before, and do some truly amazing things, like having two equations or two lines of code that have just seemingly random numbers in it that will control an entire complicated system of a moon lander. It's like two lines of code. It's insane. Cool stuff. Limitations. Getting through limitations. Anyway, what I wanted to do with you guys today is just have a chatting session. We can just play around with stuff. We might work on Burn the Subs a little bit. I might pull that over here and we can take a look at some stuff that I still need to get to. It's not that difficult, but it's often not well explained, I think. Yeah, and then they make it very difficult, but when you get down to the nitty-gritty, it's not incredibly difficult. I don't know. Linear algebra wasn't that bad for me. I'm scared for boundary value problems, vector and tensor calculus, and complex analysis. What linear algebra did for my entire physics curriculum was it boiled it down, that doesn't bounce, it boiled it down to very, very simplistic operations on things that would take you two notebooks worth of equations previously. It's kind of crazy what it does to multivariable calculus. Yeah, so my weekend was ruined by Android Studio. I updated my phone to Android 16, and that was a mistake because they changed the way that Bluetooth was handled. And so I didn't think anything was up for a couple days until my insulin pump expired and it was no longer able to connect to Bluetooth. So I ended up burning two entire insulin pumps bricked themselves in lieu of being able to connect to anything. So 2 bricks. I didn't really have a backup phone set up because, I'm better than that. I didn't have a backup phone set up. So I ended up burning through a pump and I was sort of under individual injections for meals. That's fine because I have the constant glucose monitor. The constant glucose monitor is way more influential to the control of my diabetes than any insulin pump that I've ever had. Now, being able to tie the insulin pump into the CGM and having them work together, that's been monumental. I am able to operate on just manually injecting and knowing what my glucose level is every 5 minutes. That's fine. This bastard of an issue came up with Android Studio sorry, with Android updating some of the Bluetooth messages over Bluetooth Low Energy, right? So there's a hot fix. I needed to learn Android Studio, how to cherry pick hot fixes into a version. And then I had to learn about the dev branch, because the instructions that I had specifically update you to the development branch, and I didn't know how to roll back from the development branch. I got the development branch to work fully, and then I learned suddenly how to roll back my version. So I don't have the version I have the dev version of Android Auto Pancreas system with the Omnipod Bluetooth hotfix cherry picked into it. And I'll have that until hopefully it becomes a full version, and I'll have to go all through all this again. But learning all that stuff under pressure was absolutely monumentally frustrating. That ruined my whole weekend, which is why we're doing kind of like let's not get too deep into it kind of stream. Yeah, because the instructions were like, check out Origin Master, create a new branch, roll back code adjustments. I didn't know what this was. I had to learn that too. Android Studio is a hell program. So eventually I got everything working, but yeah, it just ended up affecting today. We don't have like a specific project in mind. It was the safety glasses, whatever it is, victory lap, and now I want to do some stuff with my Stream Deck. So let me get the cable for this thing. A relaxation stream. Yeah, just to kind of recombobulate. I need to recombobulate. But the thing is, like, it looks like I never finish projects, and everybody loves to play on the trope of, look at this big oaf. The streamer is a big oaf that doesn't know what they're doing, and I'm better than them, and here's the joke, haha, funny, he never gets anything done. I don't like that one very much, because it affects me. I do a lot of projects. And things go by the wayside. Burn the Subs has been a big boon to the channel. It's been a huge boon to the channel. It actually put us well above our station, so to speak, in terms of... I'm gonna get a real cable. Oh, we tried this, didn't we? A real USB-C cable on this thing? I guess I'll keep it on USB 2. I don't know. I have a USB-C hub now, so like high throughput and high power requirement stuff could directly plug into there, and that's where the Stream Deck could potentially plug in. But do you keep track of them somewhere? The project bins are kind of where I keep track of stuff. A lot of things do go by the wayside. I mean, there's Burn the Subs is like #1 project around here, right? And I haven't worked on it for a long time. I mean, we worked on it the other day, and that solved a big thing that I was worried about, which was whether or not the power supply was going to create a lot of latent heat if I needed to keep that power supply charging at all times, or if that power supply made noise. Because my experience with the Vicor modules is that when they are under no load, they screech. Mine did. There must have been some error with them or something. I've built a power supply on the Vicor power supplies previously. This is a bespoke, like it's a specific Vicor power supply for other applications, but they put everything together in like one 24-volt package. I bought it on eBay a long time ago, and it's kind of awesome. So this eBay power supply, I didn't really know what it would do or whether it would work, or, if it was loud, it would make noise. It turns out it's totally fine. It works just like a normal old dumb power supply. Did O'Bother manage to get some sound out of the synth? That's the other possibility that we could work on today, is tuning up the synths a little bit. All right, I have Stream Deck logo. Is it actually going to load Stream Deck? How did I get it to load before? I think I just plugged it into this hub, and it just worked. Where's this, ready? So this is going to go from cool to hot. Just like that. Look at how warm it is. Craziness. That's the cool thing about thermals. Hello? Let's plug it into a different plug, maybe? Unplug it again. Plug it in all the way down here. This came up. This is working. Let's take a look at the Stream Deck software here and see what we can cook. A new version of Stream Deck is available. Not sure I want to do that. Smarter ways to open app, paste text, and a lot more, plus a fresh layer of quality of life improvements. The minimum requirements for operating systems are changing with the release. They're changing it to Windows 11. Oh, come on. Microsoft is ending support for Windows 10 in October 2025. From my cold, dead hands, you will not take Windows 10 away from me. The one program that is keeping me from running some kind of KDE Linux is Fusion 360. If Fusion 360 could bother to actually come out with some kind of Linux support, I would be super duper happy to switch everything over to Linux and not have to worry about bullshit ever again. I would really like to do that, considering that the streaming computer's system is starting to show its age. All right, let's play update roulette and see what happens. Prepare to install, and it's gonna say not supported operating system. Next. I agree. All right, let's see if it breaks anything. It'd be nice if they would manage to let this operate the XL deck. Come on, buddy. Blanc. Yes, I would like to this it blanks the whole screen, but it's actually just asking me whether or not I want to update something. That's an OBS issue too. Files in use, OBS Studio. Do not close the application, or close the application and attempt to restart them. We're gonna go ahead and cancel this update. We're gonna go ahead and cancel that, and we're just gonna work with the old version of it. Oh, I need to start it up again. Jeez, come on. Stream Deck app. I've been on the edge of getting a Stream Deck Neo, but I have a feeling I wouldn't really use it often. I use it to control the lights in the shop. Like when I'm not streaming, I have it so that I can dim screens and control the lights and like watch a movie if I want to. One sec. Could Stream Deck be used to operate a 3D printer? I don't know. I actually don't know. Hold on a second. Because there are, I mean, I've got like webcam apps. There are some control things that'll work. You would probably have to do it through some other thing, I think. But, I mean, it's just basic like macro software. Yeah, it would have to be through network commands, yes. Where's, wait a minute, I think, is this the plugins? Here we go. Let's just see if we can find, where do I search? Oh, search plugin, okay. Wake on LAN, Smart Home Premium. Oh, I'm just looking for plugins. Wake on LAN. How about 3D printer? Face cam. What the fuck? That's not what I'm looking for. I just put buttons on my Octoprint Pi's GPIO instead. Yeah. Hey, Lawn Dog, how's it going? Yeah, I think you'd have to do it through like pure network commands. All right, I'm gonna close all the AAPS stuff. It's already ruined my weekend once. This is a problem with AAPS updating, with Android 16 updating the way it handles Bluetooth, and it created a pod activation problem. I ended up bricking 2 of my pods, which is not good. Just get all y'all out of here. Just leave. I don't want to look at you anymore. Yeah, so I need to get this XL working. I think I had it working before. I had it plugged in and there were icons on it. So here's Stream Deck Profile 1, Stream Deck XL, says profile 1, but there's nothing on the screen. That's not good. Do I need to plug this? I don't want to have to plug this in directly. Oh, maybe it's because this is plugged in. It's using too much USB bandwidth. Remember that I'm running 3, now 4 Logitech webcams. Logitech webcams are notorious for taking up a lot of Bluetooth bandwidth. The amount of USB stuff that this computer is running is actually kind of legendary. I have the Creality CR Scan, Stream Deck XL, Stream Deck Regular. I have the Face Cam, BTS Cam, and then the Spring Arm camera. I have an entire mixer for audio channels and a Focusrite 2i2. So that's this guy here and this guy here. Mouse and keyboard. What else? I think that might be it. That might actually be it. Yeah, I don't have too much plugged in. It is still a lot of like sort of data heavy app things that are plugged in right now. It's doable, but I won't be able to use it. Probably. With me, like all the control stuff that I've done is through a program called Node-RED. And so the Stream Decks will send a request through Node-RED, and Node-RED can then control something with like an HTTPS request. So that's sort of how I've been doing the Stream Deck, sort of taking over stuff and controlling multiple things. It's how I automatically turn on and off this light here. And it's how chat interactions from Twitch get to the physical layer. So if you guys spend channel points, it goes through a Node-RED, and then that will send a signal out to the device that's on Wi-Fi, the fart box. I'm gonna take a heartburn pill. I need a heartburn pill. I need a heartburn pill. My glucose level is through the roof. And this is what I do when I stream. I take pills, I inject insulin. Welcome to my health stream. Okay, so this is a new problem, this thing not working. Let me unplug the Creality scanner and see if that offers us enough USB bandwidth to actually do anything. That's crazy that maybe that won't affect it. My computer's a little quieter as a result. This thing is actually another good webcam though. I wonder what I can train this on. This would be a cool, like, in the dark webcam. All right, I'm gonna put the CR scan away for now. I'll think of another application for a webcam though, because if this thing works with the rest of my system, it's cool to have an extra camera that can show like an abstract view of something. And I guess I'll unplug and plug this thing back in and see if that fixes it. I had my whole system locked up the other day because I was plugging and unplugging cameras. And I guess the USB stack was like, and then died. I also wonder if Windows 11 would allow me to use my USB stuff a little bit more efficiently. To be honest, like the end goal, what I should be doing is, since speeding up my USB connections didn't really work, what I really should be doing is, what was I going to say? What I really should be doing is looking to buy new cameras for the whole shop and make them NDI. NDI is like a different kind of video sending system, and that'll free up my USB bandwidth significantly. My Wi-Fi printers are my Bamboo Lab printers and my big printer, but that runs Clipper. This one runs Clipper. Used to run Octoprint. Oh, and I'm running Octoprint, yeah. But the Raspberry Pis I used bricked, and I haven't bothered getting an Octopi backup. Octopi is great, but then again, I with your multiple printers, I would assume that Octopi would really be coming into fruition. Apparently, everybody wants me to go to Mainsail, though. That's what everybody's using, Mainsail. I don't really know nothing about nothing, though. All right, so alternative here is that I have a different USB hub that I could potentially try. I bought this little Amazon Basics John, and it has USB-C, or I could try to find the USB-C to USB-C cable and go directly into that hub. Let's try to go directly into this hub, because this hub leads back to my computer through a USB-C extension cable. So this has a little cable coming out of the end for some reason, and then that goes all the way back to my PC. I think that's just how they like doing stuff with this USB-C stuff, because I think they'll think people will mistake this for like an input or like an output or whatever. I don't know. It should just be a USB-C plug, but they gave me a little dongle. All right, so I need to find a bespoke USB-C to USB-C cable that can do the right wattage, which I have. Well, I've got a big purple one, but I don't think that one worked when I tried it. I'm going to try it again, though, with you guys here. We got the purple one, and then I've got one that does 250 watts specifically, which I think is... I don't think the XL is requesting for that bandwidth. This is a normal cable. Where's the... There it is. Here. Oh, my back. All right. There. I got a couple cables in mind here. These cables are not cheap. So the cable that came with the Stream Deck did not work going into my USB 2.0, even though it did previously. I'm streaming right now and I'm actually using the cameras, so that might be taking up the bandwidth that this thing was able to suck down. So let's try my biggest, thickest USB-C cable. This thing is capable of charging my portable system, the Legion Go. So maybe, and it's got a right angle on this side. I don't know what this extra plug is down here. This thing probably won't request additional volts. Ah, come on, man. Nope, doesn't like it. Hold on, let's go over here and just take a look at Stream Deck XL, Profile 1. There are buttons on the screen, but it doesn't show them on this. Probably because of bandwidth issue. Try a different USB cable. Let's try this one. I mean, if this one doesn't work, probably none of them will work, because these aren't particularly special. This one would be nice because it's got a lot of cable. It's a long cable. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, that one directly into there. And this one directly into here. Why did they put it over there? That's such a weird choice. Same results. Why do you not smile at me? I'm starting to think it's not the cables. So, what if I use this thing and I go from USB 2. This is the weird magic of USB. Oh, and I actually plug it in. I have the two USB slots on the front of the computer, and if I use those, then this will end up working. I just wanted this to be over here, on this stuff over here, and that way it would be able to move over to the gaming computer, which is behind me. Nothing is working. Why do you not... Is there something I'm not doing? Hold on a second. Device orientation standard, sleep after never. Brightness doesn't do anything. Oh, device not found. So it straight up just does not see the device. That's maybe due to USB stuff. Let's do a look at device mangler. I bet you Linux could do this. I have a couple human interactive devices plugged in, and maybe you could say possibly that it is a little bit excessive. Barcode badge reader. Wait, huh? Which one is that? CAD mouse. Game controller, pen, system controller. Oh yeah, the tablet I still have. It's sitting under, literally right under where the keyboard is. We didn't use that. We expected that to be a really useful device for when I was like explaining schematics and stuff. I thought that it would be awesome for that. But it turns out getting out a new device to do something like that is a little bit clunky, and you also can't like see what you're writing. You got to get used to that. I could probably get used to it. I mean, tablet type things are inherent to Windows now. Like it's got the ability to manipulate that stuff, but it just never came to fruition, really. If I had a little bit more space, maybe, like I have very limited space here in the corner of my desk. If I had a little bit more space, maybe I could put the tablet on something and we could use that to like do funny writing gag and stuff like that. It would be a little bit more dynamic for doing schematics, kind of. It's just my ability to write with the mouse is funnier. It's a lot funnier, actually, if I do it that way. 3D Connection KMJ emulator. What the hell is that? BLE for GAT connection, USB devices. I don't see the Stream Deck in here. There should be two, but oh, HD compliant touchscreen is probably what it is. That's strange. I don't understand why it's not showing up at all. Probably a bandwidth thing. And it's not like straight up an unknown device, right? Let's check hold on, I gotta plug back in and check unknown device. Let me actually plug in more directly because this is like a little too crazy. I'm covered in USB cables. The problem is I only have one USB-C connection directly to the computer. So if I do put this on a USB-C to USB-C cable, because these definitely have the wattage, I don't know if they have the bandwidth with all the cameras going, but they definitely have the wattage. So if I turned it over to USB-C, it would only be able to plug into the hub right here. Still give it a shot. Oh, that's not even lighting up. The heck? What the heck? Let's try this one. It's not even lighting up now. What the heck? This thing might be a little broken. Nothing. Not even a logo. Okay. Does that mean we're getting somewhere, or does that mean we're not getting somewhere? I do not know. Put this one back with the wrap on it. So the whole purpose of this stream is that when I finish a project, I do not get to have a victory lap. There's always got to be something like that I'm in the middle of that we work on. And so people get the impression that I never finish projects. But today, I'm marking the completion of a project. I finally got our 3D models all sorted out for these glasses. I finally have the prescription inserts working with the face shield. Now, a couple things that maybe I could follow up with at a later date, lifting them up just a little bit, because you can see they're kind of not centered in this space. They might be lift up just a little bit and give me slighter, clearer optics. And if you'll notice, when we're looking straight through at something, things are a little bit distorted around the edges. And the reason for that is that these have been bent backwards. And when you take a pair of glasses and you bend them like that, the pupillary distance has changed. It's possible that I could use the 3D model to do a kind of projection and figure out what the numbers should be for pupillary distance, or I can do a Hail Mary and go to like an online glasses place where I would send them these frames and get a set cut that would fit in and all that stuff, and see if I can resolve the pupillary distance. As of right now, if I am working on something and I need to see it clearly, I have to look out of the side of my eye in order to see it clearly, which is a little crazy, but that's just the way it is. Things are a little bit more distorted on this new prescription. I don't know if it's the optometrist's fault, but I feel like, I don't know if this is true of any pair of glasses, but like when I see stuff around the edges of the glass, it looks more weird, like more distorted, possibly just because of the angle through the glasses or something like that. But like, I don't know if that's like, do normal glasses do that? Maybe my prescription was so low that I didn't notice it, or the fact that one of my eyes was like terrible. Hey Celia, how's it going? We don't often get victory laps. So we're taking a victory lap on this, and I'm sort of just doing a couple low-level things that I've been meaning to get done, namely playing with the Stream Deck and getting the XL to work in my setup. But also, you know, I've succeeded in making the giant Dutch bridge of my nose fit into these glasses, these wraparound, you know, conservative guy in car avatar selfie picture glasses, the ones that the guy's wearing, and he's like taking a picture for his avatar so he can go harass people online. Yeah, but anyway, these work. They're just a little bit weird around the edges, and my eyelashes touch the glass. Had a good run in Dune. Yeah, the game about space vampires. It's the Dune game is fun because you get to talk in that weird way. So yeah, viewing out of the edges of my eyes, things get really distorted. I don't know, but now I have this pair of safety glasses that fit me. I did a couple experiments on making the bridge of the nose longer. Where did they go? I had them all out. Oh, I put them over here. Making the bridge long enough so that the glasses don't bend. This barely bends the glasses, and when I put them on, you can actually like see stuff. I think if I move it up, well, I don't know if that'll do it. I don't know if my CAD drawings will let me move it up casually. You have to do rant videos from your car. I gotta talk about the price of something or other. It's not fair. Start calling things woke. Yeah, so this distance, I think somebody came down here to look at the bathroom. The downstairs toilet is having some issues right now, so somebody may be coming through. I'm gonna go quiet voice for this. But yeah, moving it like this just makes these do this, and it's not safe. These are safety glasses. They need to be up against my face. So we got the same fitment from the 3D model as we do with my big fat nose. I look completely ridiculous, but at least my eyes are safe, right? I can receive a ballistic shock, and it doesn't affect me. Every instinct. This goes against every instinct. Yeah. Anyway. This actually is hurting my finger hurts. But hey, they work, right? Oh my God, no glasses bother. He looks so weird. Got safety glasses and prescription through work. Needed them one time, so after 2 years, I took them home. To be honest, it's not that bad. It just looks like safety glasses. I think a tinted pair would be good. I may buy like that tinted insert and just use that. There's also like a yellow insert, so I could really look like one of those gun guys. These improve vision because they're piss colored. I don't know why. Like, why is that? Why is that a thing? This is the company that makes them. They're like, you know, tactical doofus glasses. These might be a better style for me, but I don't know what's gonna, like, the pupillary distance on this one is weird. They do have a different style, and it's I think this guy. No, not this guy. Let's see, where is that? It'll be in one of these. There's a different style of insert, but it looks kind of weird. Yeah, you get these. The gun guy gets into an argument style. Let's see. Laser protection. Yeah, this is the one that they're touting, which is more expensive, but it fits in a bunch of their stuff. I don't know, are these, see, would these be bent? Maybe I need to get a set of these guys. And then they have different nose pieces, apparently Oakley nose piece, huh? But then they don't have the super duper wide nose. So I'd have to reverse engineer this clip as well. the big question that I have is, with these inserts, does this style bend, and how close is this up here? Because I need to move that outwards in order to fit my giant nose. And then I'd also have a black line around the actual glass piece. This is the ones that I have are the older style, I guess. And they're cheaper. And then you get the sort of the edge of the glasses isn't a big piece of plastic, this style. Yeah, I resin printed the nose bridge. This is the SLA printed. Where'd they go? Where did I put them? Oh, they're up here. Yeah, it's cool doing it like this, because then I can actually like alter little things about it. I can change the height of the glasses. I can change the way the nose piece interacts with my nose. You can see what I've done is I've just sort of done a loft operation from here to here, and I've got the front clip and the glasses clip and the pads for the nose piece are two separate pieces. These nose pads were originally glued, and they're not glued right now. I made kind of an oversized press fit. What type of resin? I don't know. Hold on, let me look it up. I'll look it up. Let's go to my Amazon page. Go to my orders. Turn on Windows Hello. I don't want anything even close to that. Resin. 8K standard. This stuff. High precision, quick curing, excellent fluidity, LCD, 3D printer, clear 1 kilogram. But it's just any cubic, and it looks like glass, frosted glass. Need to get my eyes tested soon. Haven't done it in like 5 years. That was me. That was me. You were. I'm not saying you were talking to me. I'm just saying that's exactly the situation that I was in. Is I hadn't gotten my prescription tested for many, many years, and so a friend of mine was like, "You need to get this type of safety glasses because they're the best on a budget, and they actually have ballistic protection for." I guess it's like an offshoot of Oakley, and Oakley's always advertised themselves to be like ballistically safe. So these have a ballistic protection for shooting range, and I can also use them on projects with power tools. But it is designed as a one-piece glass. I have a giant nose bridge, and we've scanned my nose bridge, and we've seen it up close. Look at that mofo. It's huge. And so with regular glasses, I can typically just bend the little bendy thingies, right? I can just bend the little bendy thingies, and we can move on with our lives, and I can continue to have this enormous schnoz take up a bunch of real estate on my face. However, the wraparound style glasses did not allow me to do that. Hey, Mark and Sutton, what's going on? And so what I did is we did a 3D scan of my face. We did a 3D scan of the glasses with tape over the front. And then we put the two together and we put it in its ideal location. And then I took measurements and models and whatever, what do you call it? Whatever, measurements and stuff. And I used the Fusion 360 drawing tools in order to make a reproduction. Where's the other one? There it is. A reproduction of the bridge, and then widen the elements of it. Now, it's not as fluid as you would think it would be. Like, one would think once you have the 3D model, it would just be a matter of telling the software how you want to like move stuff, but it's much more complicated than that. You need to think about it when you make all of your drawings. And what I did is I essentially had the nose bridge piece revolving around a circle, because there's that piece of rubber that connects the top here, and I needed that to stay in shape. So it basically just moved in kind of a circular orientation outwards, and that fits it perfectly. They feel very comfortable on my face. Now, another fix for this would be if I could do this. If I could just get these to do that, that fixes my vision as well. But they're very springy, and if the deformation temperatures would probably be pretty high, and it would be kind of a risky operation to do. But if I could do that, this is a very tidy solution. It just means that on the edges, there might be a bit of a different fit. but it's like I got a bigger face than what they made this for. What's that? I need to get mine checked soon. Yeah, the prescription. It was a whole thing. Do you guys have like distortion on the very edges of the glasses? Because that's what I have now. I don't know if I like my local optometrist. I think I like the online things better. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, not all resins are skin safe. I knew that was what you're getting at. I don't know if the Anycubic 3D resin is skin safe. I think it is. I've been using it for quite some time and I've been touching it and I haven't had anything like an allergic reaction. And I got it in my mouth too because I'm good at what I do. I gotta tell you guys, when you're working with resin printers, it is clean and safe until it isn't. It's like always wear gloves, always be careful of, and cognizant of what you're touching when you've got resin on your fingers, because I've got a magnetic steel plate, so I have to touch the resin when I'm using the printer. So I take it off of the plate. I've got a box that's all gross, like the top half of a cardboard box that I have a cage in, and the cage fits in the sonic cleaner. So I'll do a Tupperware bin in that cage, and then the print, I will put the sheet of steel on there, use a scraper to pop it off, and then that goes into a little bit of alcohol in a little tiny Tupperware that then goes in the sonic cleaner, the ultrasonic cleaner. But that process of getting it to the ultrasonic cleaner and back is very, very difficult. It's a very delicate process. And if something goes wrong, it goes way wrong, and you end up tasting it. Don't say I do have distortion on my lens, but when I wear mine on the end of my nose, yeah, okay, so you don't even notice them rolling off. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the optometrist doing something. If they like pushed for super thin lenses, which they shouldn't have done. There's like see how like when stuff travels around, it's like distorting weird just because of where my pupils are. I think that's what I think it's normal, but it just it felt weird at first. I've gotten used to it, but when I like turn my head, stuff would like distort into view. It was a little jarring. I don't know. How could we improve this? I don't think I could without getting to like terrible limits. I don't want to break a like $30 piece of plastic. I'm not gonna force the issue. But I mean, they work. I look a little bit like a weirdo with them on, but yeah, this is clocking up a win on our project. So making sure to fully emphasize that we completed a project, and I should probably have gotten one of those confetti overlays. Just doo-doo-doo. All right, so Stream Deck, something's wrong. It doesn't like it. It doesn't like the XL being plugged in, although at one point I got it to work. So what happened there? Why did it suddenly start to work and now it's giving me gruff? And it's probably because I'm running 3 USB 2. No, they're actually USB 1. I've got a USB-C, a USB 3 point whatever hub going into a USB 2 hub that's powered. And then it goes over to the Stream Deck, which is USB 2, but in a USB-C plug. And it's not working. Because of course it's not working. I'll try like a regular USB-C to USB-C plug. And I know this one takes data. I don't think the Stream Deck negotiates for alternative voltages either. I think it just takes what it gets. What was this one for? Oh, that's for the mouse. What if I unplug the mouse and I offload the mouse over to Bluetooth? So now that's on Bluetooth. No longer, I hit a button. I hit another button. The only problem with the Stream Decks is when they fall over, they hit all the buttons. So random stuff can occur. Oh, there's a dog barking. I think we got the plumber over here, which will be great because then it won't smell like smell like piss over there. The toilet, I think, unseated a little bit. See, nothing. I don't get it. When we do programming streams, we always get a bunch of people who are experts in this kind of stuff. But we haven't done a pure programming stream in a little while. Yeah, it does not like being out here with all my stuff going at once. There we go. All right, so the only option that I have is to run this directly from the front panel of the PC. But that's unfortunate because out here in no man's land would be a really nice place to have it, because I could put the mixer and this thing on a hub that I could then move over to the games setup. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with the games setup then. That's gonna need a sort of a different strategy. Had an issue with my Stream Deck lately. Always gets the logo on boot up. You unplug it again and then it works. That's what we've been doing today. I've been unplugging it and plugging it back in and just sort of rolling the dice on whether or not it'll work. And we had it working before. It came up, it had all the little buttons on it, but in this case, it's just the logo. I wonder if they did something. Maybe they're super duper new drivers that fixed the problem that I'm having. That might actually be the case, and I'll never know, because I've got OBS running at the same time. Yeah, I had to upgrade them to googly eyes. I did not have googly eyes on them before. Oh, and chat's missing their googly eyes. You guys need googly eyes. Hold on a second. I am remiss in my my duties. By the way, the 3D Connection mouse supposedly runs really well with the mouse pad that they send with the kit. It's got like a little bit of a rubbly thing on the underside, and this is just, you know, basic like plastic. Supposedly they work super well together, but it's like, I don't feel any different. I just feel like I'm using a mouse pad, which we don't really need on this desk. Is it snappier this way? No, not really. Maybe. It's a little squirrely without it. I don't know. I'm not gonna use their mouse pad. I don't know what to do with the mouse pad. I'll put it like up there or something. I'll put it away somewhere. That's a feral kit. That's not what I'm looking for. That's foot spray. What are we doing with foot spray? No, 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 no. This, by the way, Celia, if you ever have to 3D scan stuff, this actually works really well. This works really well. It makes a nice uniform matte surface that doesn't come off too easily. You can wash it off, obviously. I don't have my Stream Deck connected at my computer any longer. I have it on a NAS next to me. It uses USB sharing, as I feel Elgato products are oversensitive on sharing USB with other devices. Yeah, that's the thing. The cool thing about the Stream Deck with computers is that you can put statistics on the Stream Deck, and then it'll display like a chart of your computer's usage. Where did the kit of googly eyes go? Oh, it's right here. Yeah, you guys lost your eyes. You used to have big beady eyes. How big should these be? I think just like that big. It should just barely come over the edge of the webcam. They'll probably get knocked off of the webcam though. I'll have to make like an adapter, like a googly eye adapter for you guys. I like using two different sizes with the googly eyes, but I think in this case we'll just go with regular size and have them sticking up a little bit so you guys look kind of like a frog. These are the projects that I haven't been able to get around to. And they're very important projects. God, so I spilled something on my keyboard, and that made me take apart my keyboard, and then I fumbled the keyboard in my hands while trying to get that air blower, and I got a tiny little slash wound right on my knuckle. It is the worst place to get cut. We demand them. Yes, I know. I will not be remiss in my googly eyes. I have been absolutely freaking out with lead motifs, in music lately. Deltarune has gotten me back into looking and being a weird problem solver. And I discovered, and I've shared this with the game part of the, I always use two different sizes. Now we're going with one size on this one because it's chat. Those are a little closer in than they used to be. I don't like that. I like them to be a little wider. Yeah, we need to be like super wide on that. Chat needs to have as much of a Dent-G wide face as I can muster. It used to be only one Google Eye, but now you got both of them. There we go. So that's chat view. Is that flat? That looks pretty flat across the perspective there. Yeah, that's good. And then you guys, actually, you're not very, you need to be a little bit, this is more level. No, you were saying that I should do it or else you'd never watch my stream again. You were threatening me. Ah, why is this is terrible. Hold on. Just tightening up all of the camera setup over here. These cams get warm. Why is, oh, the camera's loose on the, okay, hold on. This is the problem with my setup, is that I haven't done anything with it in a while. And so things are kind of showing that I haven't by quiet breaking, where you kind of don't work, but you also do work. Quiet failing. Here we go. Chat used to have the googly eyes on a little bracket that I put on it, but then I lost the bracket. It fell off somewhere along the line. I return. I'm attempting to friction weld 2 ABS prints together, and so far they're not sticking. Do you have anything that can produce like a piezo element that could do ultrasonic? I've always wanted to make an ultrasonic knife on stream, but the alternative would be to find something that can do piezo vibration. Or throwing a little acetone in the mix just to kind of help the plastic soften up. I don't know anything about it though. Where is level? We need to get you level. We need to look at the right stuff. Looks like a little Wally. Piezo is my favorite lately. Piezo. I don't know what I should be saying there. That's one of those words that like I've seen written everywhere, and you know, you try to pronounce it and you get it wrong, and everybody laughs and they laugh and they laugh. They laugh and they laugh. Okay, so plugging it in a couple times and trying it out. Piezo elements are everywhere. They are quite prolific in electronics, and they do good stuff. I don't like the look of chat without the bracket with the eyes on top of it. I'm gonna have to find a little right angle bracket for you guys, because you look unfamiliar to me. It's like an unfamiliar face. Maybe I'll just get used to your new ugly mug. Literally just a cordless drill and brute force, and now they're sticking. Oh, cool. Wait, what were you put it on using the cordless drill so that it would vibrate it? That's cool. This thing will not work. I want to make a piezo power bank. Power bank shoes. Oh. It's not enough to work. The little shocks that you would get through piezo elements from walking. How much walking do you do? That could be something cool. Usually those generate energy through walking things are a total scam, because to get the amount of energy out of walking, it would make walking annoyingly extra work. My friend paces enough. Put on your light bulb shoes if you're doing that. Yeah, this just straight up is not functioning. It worked once. And the more I do this, the more we risk actually freezing cameras. Why do you do this? Now, what if I unplug the regular Stream Deck? Which cable is that? That one's the webcam. This one is extra? Or is that the power bank? Which one is that? No, that's the keyboard. This one is mouse. That one is going back. That one's my extra plug on the other side of this stuff. Where's my Stream Deck plugged in? Here. I have 2 legs in the morning, 1 leg in the evening. What am I? Okay, so Stream Deck, dead. I've killed it. And now let's try booting this one up again. Still no. It still says no. It still says I don't know what device that is. I just got here. What is that, doodad? This is Stream Deck XL. We're trying to get it to work, but I'm not having great luck. This is in part this is a victory lap for my nose bridge project. We've been talking about this project a little bit. Not fully successful because in the end, in order to get the distance that I wanted from my nose, I did print a bunch of different bridges with different distances, right? Different distances to the glasses. The problem that I'm having is that when these take the glasses blanks, they're bent because of the length out here. If I reshape the lens, they'd be flatter, but then I wouldn't have peripheral vision. But it bends the glasses like that. And so when it does that, it actually changes the pupillary distance. And so in the middle, I get distortion. So if I'm looking at something carefully, I need to look kind of like a little bit out of the side of my eye. A good solution for this would be if I could distort this like this, basically only like that, and then it would fit my face pretty well. But I don't know what kind of temperatures I would need to get the plastic to deform like that. And yeah, I think maybe what I need to do is send the lens blanks to like an online glasses place and have them do it in a different pupillary distance. But that costs money. It costs money and time that I don't want to mess with. So as of right now, these fit. They fit nicely. Oh, I froze this camera. This camera's frozen. LOL. Roll credits. Hold on. I don't have a roll credits overlay. I need to put one in there. Hold on, let me unfreeze this camera. By the way, don't bother about that milk meme. I don't remember the milk meme. Oh yeah, the milk with the cat. I'm sure if I posted 2 years ago or 1 hour ago, it deserves to be reposted. That was my thoughts on it too. Put in the Friends OST. Laugh track, cut to credits. Okay, hold on. This is easy to unstick. I just thought the joke is funny. I'm gonna put this on a list. Hold on, we'll go to the arm cam. Hold on. I'm gonna put this on a list of overlay stuff that I need to sort out. So I'm just gonna write it on the whiteboard. So we need a couple like quick gags, which are roll credits. Roll credits. What was the other one that I wanted to make? I already made one of them, the Gowron one. Cross that out. Roll credits. Oh, Windows boot. Boot, unboot. I think that's it, actually. I don't have too many others. Oh, Windows clunk. These are things that like come up very quickly that I need to have these overlays for ahead of time, because it's much funnier if I can diegetically make the clunk noise. Dunk, you know, when I can't think of something. You always make cool stuffs. I try to. We're doing a victory lap because it doesn't come up a lot that I finish projects. All right, so let's get the face cam. All I need to do is just go into the face cam and just grab this and go to the properties, and then I can deactivate it and then activate it again, and that should come back up. Whoa, what? Wait, huh? Why did it only do one frame? Wait, let's unplug the Stream Deck XL. What if I plug in the Stream Deck XL again? Is that gonna work? No, it doesn't work. Okay, so let's bounce this camera again and just see what happens. Deactivate, reactivate. Okay, there we go. That fixed it. So now I can calibrate them using the Stream Deck that I unplugged. Come on, man. All right, let's close that. Go here. Ah, you guys are over the shoulder. Okay, there we go. Cool. Then it's this one is the Stream Deck, if I recall correctly. No, that's the camera. Don't touch that one. That's not the Stream Deck. This one's the keyboard. I need to label these. I think that's what I'm learning today. Oh no, I intentionally killed the Stream Deck one, right? I need to plug it back in. Okay, so let's get that one out of here. It was a good side portrait. Never pause on a bad angle. That's the trick. This one, of course, comes up with no problem. Where is my life gone? What has happened to me? I think I installed USB 3.1 drivers. I don't know why my Stream Deck things are being little bastards. Did the partial install of the Stream Deck software go bad? Profile 1, Stream Deck, and it doesn't see the device. So I guess that means I'm going to unplug it from this one. Where did I plug it in? Which one was it? Let's get this out of there so I'm not confused. Plug in plug in XL, close the software, and open it again. Okay, let's try that. That is a good idea. So let's try with the long USB-C cable. We'll do a Hail Mary because I want it to work with this cable. This cable does do data. I just don't know if it does the throughput that this thing needs. And it also says it's 240 watts, but the XL doesn't request. It's a USB 2 device, right? Like we were running it off of this, which is a fairly thick cable, but it's still USB 2 should be. Yeah, let's try. That's a good idea. I didn't think about that. Usually I'm pretty good with troubleshooting. Da, 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 da. Not even a logo. Not even a logo. This one down here. Really? Okay. All right. I get it. Actually, well, let's just try it anyway. I'm going to close the software fully. So that means going into the tray, closing it. Into the tray, right click, quit Stream Deck, quit. And let's try it again. I know the logo means it has power, but this one has a logo. No logo. All right, so, but it should definitely have power through this hub. This hub should be fine. Maybe I just need to get it a special connector or something. All right, let's hold on. Let's put these in places. Now, is this just normal, the normie cable? Is that gonna not give me a logo? I don't know what that extra port is on this this hub. It's got like an additional port on it. Yeah, that doesn't give me a logo. Okay. I'll leave that one plugged in because that's what I charge the mouse on. There's too much USB. Okay, so testing the theory of USB 2. Give me the... Jeez. This is a mess. USB 2 into the hub. Of course, I've got it facing the wrong direction. Go USB logo up. Power delivery on the hub. The USB-C hub here is powered. This USB-C hub is powered. That leads directly back to the computer, but through an extension cord. The USB 2 hub, the blue connectors, has its own power supply as well. So it's computer, extension cord, USB 3 hub, regular USB 3.0 to USB B 3.0 cable to the hub, and then hub to device. It gets a little crazy. Did you graduate from Harvard? No, I graduated from Drexel University with a degree in control systems. USB-C directly from there to here, no logo. USB-C from here to here. Logo. What the F, man? So if I go for the high wattage cable, which, by the way, this stuff... Why are you saying hubby? Wait a minute. If I go for this big cable to device, I'll try this starting up the software one in a bit. I just want to see what results we get here. Logo. Okay, so big cable gives me logo. Small cable, no logo. I think it's a... But this thing is 240 watts. Maybe they're calculating it based on the 12-volt supply. We're doing a lot of like weird, silly stuff around here right now. I thought this person is your wife. Huh? Huh? I don't have one of those. Okay, nothing. All right, so back to USB 2 coming from the hub. I'm covered in wires once again. I have no idea what's going on with that comment. All right, boop. There we go. Now I'm going to start up Stream Deck. Hello? Stream Deck? Try that again. Oh, my keyboard's not working now. Because, you know, why should we have working things? Did USB crash from that? Oh yeah, because my face cam too. Looks like that hub has crashed. So let's unplug it, plug it back in. That means a whole bunch of devices will suddenly come up. Da, 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 da. Oh Bother is brought to you by your generous donations. Deactivate, activate. I am now not animated. Huh, okay. So, USB is frozen. USB is frozen. I live too far away to be... What's being negotiated in my chat while I've been distracted? Calling the hub a hubby, yeah. Not a hubber's and. All of my USB has died. Bonk, bonk. All right, let's go back and see Facecam. Properties. Activated again. Okay, so what in the world have I done? What have I done? All of it comes crashing down around me. Here at the end of all things. And you... all right, so unplug the regular Stream Deck, because maybe I don't have bandwidth for the two. Go to Properties. Deactivate the camera. I'm going to unplug it and plug it back in too. Unplug, put it back in the same spot, hit activate, and video. Damn it. So the USB hub behind the pillar of the desk is dead. Maybe. Wait, does my keyboard work? No. Okay. So the keyboard not working, we know that the hub is dead. However, the lights are working on the keyboard, so something is still functioning. This is ridiculous. Are we missing like a... No, the power plug's still plugged, and I've got a red light on the power thing there. Has the USB-C hub have had enough of my BS? I don't know what's going on, but I'm having fun. You're watching a streamer whose stream has grown slowly over time to be this giant amorphous blob of USB devices. finally have that breakdown that they've been expecting. Glasses. Glasses. It's all about glasses. That's what, yeah, today is glasses. Gases and glasses and all kinds of everything in between. Here's where the extension hooks up. So I'm going to unplug the extension and then plug this back in. This bad boy back in. We'll see. I think USB 3 on my computer has just finally met an end from plugging and unplugging stuff too much. Yeah, I had the whole goose printed out, but it kept falling over, probably because of all the clutter, and it broke. So we just have the goose head. Okay, we're plugged back in. Everything in front of me is still dark. Let's see if the keyboard works, because the keyboard would be the first thing to come back. It does work. Okay, so now I'm going to start up Stream Deck. We got this bad boy plugged in. Hey, there it is. That was the solution, was restarting Stream Deck in order to get this thing to come back on. So that means any of the times that I had the logo on there, it worked. But none of the times, it was none of the configurations that I wanted. Mind me later. Okay, that was Mark and Sutton. Thank you so much. That was a good call. Even though it wound up crashing my hub, and it looks like my webcam still. Let's check to see that the webcam works alongside of this. So this camera, which is blank, you guys can obviously still hear me. If I go to the properties and I deactivate it and I activate it again, bada bing, bada bing, bada bing, bada bing. Deactivate it again, activate it again. The blue lights are on the face cam. HD Pro C920. Huh. Okay. We're still good there. That one actually could be frozen and I just wouldn't know about it, but the Bria is still working. That's the camera that we're trying to get working right now. I unplug the camera and then I plug it back in. And then I go to my face cam. And then I go to the properties of the thing and I deactivate and then I reactivate. And then it doesn't, this is not good. So with the Stream Deck plugged in, the webcam does not work. There is so much bandwidth being utilized by the Stream Deck that even on a USB hub, it's not really functioning. That wasn't the case. You saw for like last stream and the stream before, I had both of these going and the face cam at the same time. This is illogical. Something illogical is going on. This defies my own internal personal ability to suss logic. I just like it when Bother sings. I don't. It feels very cringe. By the way, if you can, I meant to go to face cam and nothing's happening. If you can read music, I need somebody who can read music. I swear I had a problem like this. I just can't remember how to fix it. Probably has to do with like installing actual drivers. All right, so here's what we do now. I unhook the Stream Deck XL and we go back to square one, which is just having my system working in the first place. So the Stream Deck smaller one will get plugged into the hub, hopefully without unseating any stuff here. This has been a methodical thing that I've been meaning to do for a while. I thought what we were going to do today is move tiles from the little guy to the big guy. The light's running on, but no camera feed. Yeah, the blue light was turning on, but no camera feed. I gave up on hubs and ran one cable per device. And then if you need to do multiple of the Logitech webcams, you have to install USB 2.0 or 3.0, whatever, cards into the computer. That's how I get them on different PCIEs. All three of my cameras have their own card in the motherboard. So they're totally separate from one another. It's just I've been stacking on the devices here for this face cam. The face cam was able to go through this hub and another USB 2 hub and still function. Wait, it's frozen. But I really need to get roll credits for the scene. You're probably wondering how I got here. All right, do it one more time. What the heck, bro? What is going on here? What are you doing? All right, hold on. Let's plug this back in. Unplug the camera. Plug the camera back in. Why is it so crazy today? All right, deactivate, and then which one is the camera again? Which one is? It's the one with the ferrule on it. Unplug, give it a couple seconds so that my USB doesn't explode. Plug it back in. Windows USB stack can be a little bit squirrely, given the number of devices that I have. Full motion webcam. My full motion graphics are broken. I should buy another Brio. How much are those these days? One thing I don't like about the Brio is it's got all this like facial recognition stuff built into it. Logic. The keyboard isn't working. The keyboard isn't working. Why are you doing this to me? Unplug the whole goddamn hub. Give it a couple seconds. Replug the whole goddamn hub. What if the power supply is dying? We get nothing. We get nothing. This one isn't plugged in. This one is plugged in. I should be seeing stuff from it. I will unplug it from USB and then unpower it and then power it and then plug it back into USB. And then this mouse works because it's on Bluetooth. I meant to put the keyboard on Bluetooth, but I never got around to it. And the keyboard is still dead. God would never allow a stream without technical problems. Wait, where did that scene go? Hold on. That one would be funnier if I could find the overlay that I was looking for. I was trying to get a VCR static overlay to go on top of that. Yeah, this is a good stream for me, having finally updated that screen. I need like generic sitcom, like roll credits music going on too. Well, okay, so my face cam is messed up because my USB hub is messed up because my computer is, I think, allocating resources away from USB devices. This may be something that like a computer upgrade would solve. But hey, look, this is a victory lap stream, so maybe we can sort these problems out another day. Solving things like USB problems on stream is fairly tricky because I utilize all of those systems and I would love to get away from them. It has 722 COM ports and it's pooped the bed. If I could move away, like move to NDI, I think that would be a much better solution. But oh, I can't get the Alt Control Delete thing back. I was going to show how many USB devices are actually utilized on this computer. I don't think I'm up to 700. I think I'm up to like COM 14, I think was the latest one. So it's not a COM port thing. But maybe, well, no, the USB IDs should be the same. So, okay, so if I try one more time, go to the face cam, and we go to the properties, deactivate, wait a couple seconds, hit activate. That was not a couple seconds, but okay, so it's still messed up. NDI makes a huge difference to resources. Yeah, I would assume so. Are you running anything in NDI? Was that one word? Are you running? Okay, plug this thing in this way. We're in a different port now. Hit activate. 1 frame. Not even a frame anymore. Doesn't use much on mine, just a metric ass load of network bandwidth. I have spare network bandwidth. We've never run into network problems on this show. So I don't know which device is actually shitting the bed here. Might be this thing. Things seem to have gotten worse, though. I don't know. I don't understand that. Since I started fiddling around with these. And right now, I have taken the system and I've gone back to what it was before. Nothing new has been plugged in, even though we had the Stream Deck running alongside of the other one. And now my headphones don't work. Oh, no. It's spreading. Does ChatGPT help in these situations? No. 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 It starts making stuff up. We're in a weird territory here. We're in a weird territory. 2 of mine are NDI cameras replaced with a Kinect camera and a Brio with an OBS bot camera. I wonder if I could, because I still have my, not Brio, but I have the Microsoft like scanning camera that I would love to just put into effect. I wonder if I could put a Raspberry Pi on that and make it an NDI camera. That would be pretty cool. Because that had that cool like point cloud 3D view. That would be very cool. And if I could figure out a way to turn either the Brios or now my mouse doesn't work. Now my mouse doesn't, what the, okay, we might have an emergency here where all of my USB are starting to fail. Do we still have video? We still have video. So, hey, welcome to my fixed camera stream. We're unable to do anything with OBS because my mouse doesn't even work. Although it worked before, it just doesn't want to work now. Let me try plugging the mouse into the hub, see if that does anything. I think my USB stack is shitting the bed from all of the shenanigans that I've been putting it through. Everything getting a cable back to the computer would probably be a good idea, but... Oh, the mouse changed a position once. ChatGPT would like restart the electricity supply, else make a hamster run to generate extra capacity. What? Yeah, okay, so we're having troubles. I don't think I have ground loop issues. I think it's is this autofocusing too? That would be the, no, it's not autofocusing. This came back, wait a minute. I can't change scenes though. It doesn't, no, then it died. Just sit in the corner and cry. Yeah, that's how it feels. Sorry you had to read that. Just proofread a little bit, chat. I think USB is shit the bed. Yeah, Satana got into the system. Okay, I can't even do that. Wait a minute. I don't have any input devices. I thought this one was on, it's still on USB, so I think my USB stack is fully shit the bed. This camera does still work, and my audio still works. So that's 2 USB things that are, I guess, a little bit more stable. What a shit show. This suddenly went from, I'm going to just start using this new Stream Deck, to all of my USB devices have failed. What a twist. I think the computer needs a restart is where I would go with this. Okay, so the keyboard just fully does not work. All right, so now I unplug the keyboard and I move it over to the main computer, or do I plug this mouse in? The mouse would be the easiest way for me to stop stream. Yeah, the thing is I had the 2 of them on my desk for a long time. For the past week of streams, you could see this one had all the tiles on it, this one had all the tiles on it. They were both plugged in and working, right? And I was surprised. I was like, this is new. I didn't expect that to happen. doing live on stream is hard work. It's risky work, and we've run into the risk part of it. How long have I been streaming? 2.5 hours. That's not enough stream. I need to get my peripherals back. I do not want to restart because it's going to split everything up. Oh, you get to restart, but I don't. Oh, okay. The universe wants you to log off so you can touch grass. Here's what's going to happen. I don't have a face cam. I don't have an ability to control my OBS because none of my peripherals are being recognized right now. I need to restart this computer. So I'm going to restart the computer. I will be right back. I can't even put an overlay up because none of my stuff is working. We did not go back to zero to test things again. We went to before we even started with nothing at all functioning. Incredible work, brother. This is just what people come here to see. Play a game of pickleball. That's very cursed. I play real tennis, all right? All the injuries involved with that. Real tennis is better. Better not be making some kind of a retiree joke. All right, so both of these are plugged in. Oh, you're going to go play a game of pickleball. Oh, okay, go do that. See how these both have logos on them? They might come back up when I restart the machine. I will be back in just chat. I'll be back in just a minute, okay? I'm gonna return. I just need to restart the computer, okay? Are you guys there? Can you guys chat? Can you? Okay, I'm gonna be back in just a sec. I'm just gonna restart the computer. Okay, let's just get over it. Okay, I just gotta, don't worry, little one. It'll all be over soon. It'll all be over soon.